Max, good morning. Good to speak to you. The first time we've spoken for a while. First of all, let's start off. How are you and your family keeping?
Not too bad, thank you. Like everyone around the country, just staying at home. Obviously, there's quite a lot of phone calls, as you can expect, going on. Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's nice to spend time at home with the family, especially with a young family. Obviously, with what's happening around the country, it's awful to see, and hopefully, there'll be soon an end to it.
Indeed. The pre-season trip to Abu Dhabi was a lot briefer than obviously had been anticipated. Just give us an insight into what happened. You went out there, presumably started the training, and then, of course, were summoned home.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone, we were looking forward to the trip as preparing for the season. It's worked really well for us the last few years. We, as a club, we took out the precautions necessary before we went, and the advice of people out in Abu Dhabi. So when we travelled, we thought it was going to be, safe to do so, and we were hoping that, we'd be out there and the season would get underway. Obviously, things escalated very quickly, and I don't think anyone, really predicted how quickly or how serious things were going to get. As soon as things were developing back at home, and obviously England came home from Sri Lanka, there was only one really decision to make. That was to come back and make sure everyone was safe.
Had all the boys jetted in from their various parts of the world? Did you have a full squad out there at that time?
Yes. The only guys we didn't have there was Cameron Delport, who was in the PSL, and obviously our overseas guys who were back in Australia. But apart from that, and Sam Cook was due to join us a day after. So yeah, everyone else was there. The few days we had there was excellent from a cricketing point of view. We had the full facilities to ourselves, and from that point of view, we were preparing as normal. But for the unseen circumstances, obviously, as you said, it was cut short.
It must have been bizarre getting back to Chelmsford, sort of almost like demob again at the end of the season, wasn't it? And you'd only been together for 5 or 6 days before you were all sort of waving adieu, but not knowing when you might see each other again.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was really strange. Once the decision was made to come home in Abu Dhabi, it took a couple of days for us to get on a flight. And it was a kind of a sense of, we don't know what's going to happen. It felt a bit like the end of the season, as you just mentioned, that we might not be playing any cricket for some time. There was a lot of uncertainty. Obviously, everyone were looking forward to the season after a long winter. And when we landed back into London, it was just that. It was a case of, we're going to self-isolate now for 2 weeks. We're flying back from a different country, and then we'll see how things develop. But again, things have changed very quickly, and the season's been pushed back, and until now we're not too sure when we're going to start.
Indeed. We're in the second week of lockdown now. How are you keeping in touch with all the lads? And they presumably they've got a training regime to follow as and when they can. Have they within the best of their limitations?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've got a player WhatsApp group which we're in regular contact with. Most of the guys are keeping in touch with each other. These days with technology, it's a lot easier with the various apps you can get. As a coaches group, we're in regular contact, and our S&C, Harry McQueen, has sent out fitness programs which all the players have got. Obviously, they're limited to what they can do. They're linked up with heart rate monitors and GPS and that kind of stuff. So they're doing what they can do within the rules of the government. So everyone's in regular contact. We're just trying, as everyone is, to make the best of it and try and train and do stuff and prep, because that's our job for when we do start. But obviously, we want everyone to be safe and everyone's family to be safe and get through this.
But it's just for you as a coach and your coaching staff around you, it's a very surreal situation, isn't it? Because I guess all the stuff that you're giving everybody is all practical and theory, without actually having the opportunity of getting them together and close up and dealing with that aspect of it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's not a lot you can do cricket-wise. You know, certainly batting and bowling in someone's house or garden. It's just a matter of keeping physically fit. And you know, when we do come back, if we do come back, you know, we'll put plans in place. But I think mentally it's tough for everyone because you know, being indoors, you know, you kind of internal computer in March switches onto a long 6 months ahead. So we've had the winter months and everyone's just, you know, really ready to start the season. So it's you know, just difficult as in any industry about when we're going to get back to normal. So we're just really looking at that side, really keeping, you know, people's welfare and people's well-being at the forefront, really. I mean, cricket and sport is so important, but at the moment there's more important things going on with people losing lives and so on. So first and foremost, we just want to make everyone safe, and when we do return, everyone's fit and healthy.
We've said, or been told, 28th of May at the moment is a target date, but that's sort of changing by the day, I guess. And the nearer we get to that, it's obviously going to be, I would think, some time before that happens. It's also important, though, isn't it? All right, it's very well when they do decide a date, but you've actually got to get the boys again back into cricket mode, haven't you? It's not just a matter of plucking a date out and saying, fine, we all meet the day before and it's straight into the season. I mean, they'll want some sort of preparation, won't they? Physical preparation that they're not getting now.
Yeah, of course. Look, I mean, everyone wants to get back playing when it's safe, but again, you've got to take players' well-being into account, as I said, and physical state. That a lot of them haven't played over the winter. Some have been abroad, but you know, whatever format we play, as you say, the players will need some proper physical prep and also cricketing prep, because I would imagine when we do start, games are going to come thick and fast pretty much every day or every other day. So, you know, you do want to give the players a chance to put on a good product. Yes, we want to get back playing and give enjoyment to everyone, but I think that's got to be taken into account. There's going to have to be a sensible amount of time for players to be, you know, physical and skill-wise ready to go.
And just one comment on that, there have been suggestion that maybe when the game does start, it may be behind closed doors. But the danger there, surely, Mags, is that, okay, fine, you can test everybody before they go out in the field, but if one person around that squad within the coaching staff happens to unfortunately fall down with coronavirus, then everybody again is sort of 14 days self-isolation. So that doesn't work really, does it?
No, it's a tough one, and I think, you know, to be fair, it's something that we've never encountered before. It's uncharted territory, really. So I think the ECB and powers that be are looking at all things like that. You know, when we do come back, what are the impact of that? As the point you've just made, obviously in cricket as well, we use saliva to shine the ball, which is really important to the bowlers, you know, and everyone's passing it around. So that's going to have to be looked at. And as you say, it's playing behind closed doors. It's not just the players, but you need medical staff there to check everyone's okay. Someone needs to score, you know, reporting, TV cameras. There's a hell of a lot that goes into it. So, and that's the same in every sport. So I'm sure that everyone who makes the decisions will look at that, and we won't return to playing, even if it is behind closed doors, till it's safe to do so.
Right. Away from cricket, Essex obviously have a very big connection with the local community. The players, I understand, have been getting involved, bringing around members and supporters. People like Ronnie Irani's been delivering food to those who are stuck in isolation. How important do you see it as a club, a county club, to be involved with the members and fans at this particular point in time, Max?
Oh, it's absolutely paramount, really, because the fans, members, supporters are the lifeblood of the club. You know, we're wanting to see us play this year. We know how much enjoyment they get from coming down to the Cloud FM ground and following Essex. Even guys who can't get there, you know, listen over the radio and the stream. So it's a huge part of their life as well that missing. So the little things we can do, as you said, like ringing round. Before we were going to do a lot of stuff like deliver the shopping. Now with the government rules we can't. So as a club, we're just looking at ways we can try and brighten up people's day, really, and show that we do appreciate people's support. We want to try and engage as much as we can. And, you know, there will be a point where we do get back playing cricket. And until that point we just want to make sure that our members feel that they're not forgotten. You know, we're there for them. We're all part of the same club. And little things like ringing round and just checking people are okay are an easy thing to do. And the players are loving it and wanting to get involved. And I'm sure over the next few days and weeks, you know, most members will be contacted.
And extending that a little bit further, I'm sure you'd like to take the opportunity on behalf of not only yourself, but everybody at the club, just to acknowledge the magnificent role that key workers are undertaking at this time. It's been absolutely phenomenal, hasn't it?
Oh, incredible. I mean, I don't think you can put it into words, can you, what they have done for everyone. You know, the work they're putting in, the lives they're going to save, you know, working all hours. I mean, you just have to really doff your hat to them, really. There's not enough thank yous, I don't think, that can go out to people like that. So we've got to do our bit by staying indoors and helping that, so the NHS are not overrun. But the work that the guys are putting in are absolutely phenomenal, and you know, long may it continue.
And that's the message, really, the underlying message of everything. Just everybody to carry on doing exactly what they're told to by the government. We're all waiting for sport to start. It will be a very, very welcome relief, but it's got to be at the right time, and it's got to be for everybody's safety. And the only thing is to obey what we're being told at the moment, hard though it may be.
Yeah, look, it is tough because it's different for people, and people react in different ways. But if you look at the bigger picture, you know, lives are being lost, people are being ill, people are losing family members. You know, life will get back to normal at some point. So if we can stay indoors and stick to the guidelines what the government have put out, you know, and if everyone follows that, I'm sure that, you know, this will be over quicker than normal. So, you know, hopefully everyone does that, and we can find a way, you know, forward in the not too distant future.
Max, terrific words from you. Thanks very much for sharing your time with us, and we'll catch up with you again shortly. I won't ask you for a team selection yet for the first game as and when it arrives, as we normally do. But thanks for your time. Really appreciate that. And importantly, keep well yourself, with the family, and to all the boys as well.
No problem. Thanks, Paul. You too. Take care.